You got to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. That is, if they choose to start. I would be willing to bet that if you're watching this, and you probably are amongst the few that are choosing to start. And I've got great news. I'm here to help you. I've also got great news from the standpoint of yesterday. I made a sale. After what we discussed about Alex Hormozi just here recently on, I think, the last video, I put that plan into motion. I took those very same steps that I'm sharing with you guys. I took action and I made a sale. Yeah. I created a business. I created a product. I made it simple and easy for people to purchase it and buy it. And then I did that one thing. I did that one thing that Alex Hormozi told me to do. And it worked. It worked. I'm not surprised. I'm just happy to share. And what happened next? Well, it worked again. And then it worked again. So literally from day one, I made 3 sales by doing the one thing that Alex Hormozi told me to do. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. If I didn't start, then there's be no way for me to even be able to have this conversation with you and share this story and share my success, let alone share my experience for those of you who are interested in wanting to know how to do the same for yourself. How do you take this information that's being shotgun blasted across all forms of social media on the internet and boil it down to a potion that may work for you? Because there's a lot of real and there's a lot of fake. I'm actually I started a video while I was out today, and I'll have to finish it later. But it's pretty much from that, that's going to be the topic of discussion on this video, is the real versus the fake. And let's see if I can play this for you without having to edit. So we need to have a talk. The question is it lying or is it acting? I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't care which one it is. I just want to teach you all the tricks to succeed on YouTube. Now, the reason why I say is it lying or is it acting is because a lot of the videos you may see could be people telling you things that aren't necessarily true. Now, as they're telling you things that aren't necessarily true, are they telling you because they're lying to you, or are they telling you because they're acting and they're playing a role? That is a whole nother topic that we should discuss. And now that I think about it, we're going to have to edit this video anyway, because I want to show you the sales. Not because I don't think you trust me or believe me, but I do think that it does create this visual picture and representation of, I could do that. I could do that. I came across a guy yesterday. He had a video where he said he was selling silly PDFs. He was just selling silly PDFs, and he was making on average over $500 a day. So it's like another young man I came across that he made $100,000 in a month, and it makes sense to me. I get it. Are they telling the truth or are they lying? Are they acting or are they being 100% honest and sincere? Well, I don't think it really matters that much, because at the end of the day, if it motivates you to take action, like that's not harmful to anybody, then, mission accomplished. But while reading some of these comments, I realized that a lot of people are extremely skeptical, or perhaps maybe they allow their skepticism to be a shield of some sort that ultimately just stops them and prevents them from taking action. And I get it. I mean, nobody wants to get scammed and lose their money, but I think more so than that, worse off is nobody wants to fail. No one wants to feel like they don't have what it takes. No one wants to feel like they are a loser, or that they're losing, or that they've lost. So instead of actually trying, they just avoid it altogether. Then you can't win, but you also can't lose. So there's that. But I want you guys to not trust me or believe me. I want you to trust and believe in yourself. And so I'll share all that I can with you and put it out there for you. And whatever you want to do with it after that is totally up to you. So 3 sales yesterday. We'll see if there's any more sales today. And more importantly, I think the bigger, more important question besides just the sales is what happens after the sales, and not from me, but from the purchasers of these products, because these products are literally like the beginning stage and like to get started. Okay. I'm wondering if they're going to take further action. It's not a click funnel or anything like that, but there needs to be another step after the purchase. Otherwise, it's kind of like buying a meal plan. And I've seen this happen so many times, and people go out and they buy these meal plans and then they don't even bother to open them. They order them, they purchase them, they download them, and then they don't even bother to open them. Okay, maybe they do. Maybe they do uh, open them. Maybe they do actually do that, but then they don't actually follow the meal plan. And therefore, nothing gets done. Like they may feel good, like they've taken a step in the right direction by making the purchase, but they haven't actually done any of the actions to achieve the outcome that was theoretically desired to buy it in the first place. So I'm excited. It's cool. I got 3 sales, but I'd be more excited if people actually started taking action beyond that, and then beginning to build more case studies, more reviews and referrals, ultimately growing the mastermind. But, I want to see people win. I want to see people literally turn around and say, I didn't think I could do it. And here I am. It's been done. It works. And then I want to see them do the same for somebody else and help somebody else. What it did help me do is begin creating my mastermind outline. And so this is basically going to be like the framework for when we have the masterminds every week that we will build upon with, sections and an introduction, a little bit of a quick chat round table with the folks who are there. And then, we're going to dive in, and we're going to dive into what builds success, what, wins the day, what ultimately is going to get you from point A to point B to point C to wherever you want to be, that is going to put money in your pocket or grow your business or just grow a channel because you want to grow a channel. That's fine too. So the sales were kind of like a kick in the pants of, hey, Kevin, there's people out there who are interested. Now, you better be ready when they're ready. Actually, you better be ready before they're ready. So I went ahead and started working on that to knock that out. That's going to be part of the mastermind over on Patreon. The link is down below in the description. And so we had sales. I began creating the mastermind outline. And yeah, I just want to see where people are going to go from there, if they're going to take action after that. Yeah, that's going to be, and I'm just going to continue to document this and keep track for you, but also for me, because this is me and my mental accountability. This is me speaking this and putting it to words. And it's a little bit different if you just think it. It's a little bit different if you just type it. It's a little bit different if you just write it down. It's a little bit different if you say it out loud. So I'm doing all these things. And I want to be a product. I want to be the prime example of, not do as I say, not as I do. I'm doing everything that I'm saying that I can then tell you guys to do or not do. Because, hey, I tried that. Don't waste your time with that one. So there's that. I will touch on 2 other topics that I have here. I've got notes here on my laptop to share with you guys. I had a whole list of stuff, but since I put this together and now that I'm sitting here with you, things have changed a little bit. So I want to be accurate. I want to tell you guys exactly what I think is going to be most helpful and beneficial to you. And that's what's been most helpful and beneficial to me. And so if it worked for me, maybe it'll work for you. But at the same time, if you start taking some of these ideas and these principles and you start implementing them for your business, for your goals, then we can then see what worked for you. And then that's going to just continue to snowball and grow. And we're going to have so much more to base this off of what works for everybody. And when I say everybody, this kind of goes back to is it lying or is it acting? Is it real or is it fake? Because I've done so many different types of jobs. I've done so many different types of businesses. I've done so many different types of channels and content. And I can tell you guys right now, there ain't shit that's off the table. I will just put it out there to you like that. There ain't shit that's off the table. So if you want to start an OnlyFans and you want to know how that works and you want to make money with that, don't be shy. I will tell you. I will share with you the tips and the tricks and the secrets. I will say that it made a lot of money, but made more money doing other things. So there you have it. So it's like, why keep doing that if you can make more money over here doing this? So, but look, nothing's off the table, and I'm not gonna judge. I don't care. And I just at the end of the day, everybody is going to have a desire or a passion or a job or a business or whatever it may be. And social media and primarily YouTube can be an amazing resource to cost effectively grow that business. Okay. So I'm just letting you guys know, whatever it is, let's talk about it if you feel comfortable about it. So if you think about it, the simplest idea behind a business is to solve problems. Now, some problems are bigger than others and some don't seem like problems, but businesses get paid. People spend money with businesses that solve problems. Okay. If you got a clogged toilet, you call a plumber. That plumber's got a business. They get paid to solve the problem so your toilet's not clogged anymore. If you want to have a party and you need somewhere to host the party, you got businesses that have, concert halls and all these different venues and things like that. They solve that problem. And, there's all sorts of businesses that solve all sorts of problems. Like, well, I need to throw a party. It's going to be a great party. Well, that's not really a problem. But you see what I'm saying, right? The problem is you didn't have anywhere to host the party. You didn't have a space big enough for the party, So there you go. The business that I have is primarily social media consulting and YouTube coaching and things like that. And, this goes back to taking your own advice, the video I did about taking your own advice and paying attention to the market. And it's just like, well, I want to work with businesses. That's what I want. And I'll continue to put myself out there to work with businesses. But I also realize that a lot of people personally want to work with me. So I'm not going to ignore that. I am going to pay very close attention to what their problem is and then create a solution on how I can solve it. If you were to ask me 5 years ago what I wanted to do, I'd tell you this, what I'm doing with you right now. But if you were to ask me at any point in time, did I want to teach people how to edit videos? I would have never said that. But ultimately, that's the biggest problem that continues to occur. Either it's, I don't know how to edit videos or I don't want to show my face. And I have the solution to both of those problems. Well, my business could easily solve those problems and thus people would pay me. So there you have it. Okay. And even if, regardless of how it gets done, there are ways that I can do it, which would be extremely time. I don't even know the right word for this now. It would be consuming. I don't know why I can't remember that word. It would be time consuming for me to edit videos, and therefore I'd have to charge a fair amount of money to do it because my time is so much more valuable than editing videos. There's that. Now I could outsource or I could provide some other service, and then I can earn a commission or affiliate off of that. More importantly, I want to teach people you don't have to edit your videos. Granted, I'm going to edit this video. I don't have to. I could leave all the ums and the dead air and all this, that, and the other in there. I could show you things on the screen without, using Final Cut Pro. I could do that. I also know how to edit. This isn't really like heavy lifting when it comes to editing, so I don't really mind. It's not a big deal. It's okay. That's the first part of my business there, another branch of my business. But ultimately, I want people to be able to come to this mastery, this business strategy, YouTube mastery, as a resource for them to go from nothing to something on YouTube for whatever end result they want it to be. Bing, bam, boom. There you go. Now, my last note here that I'm going to share with you on this video is that majority of my audience and my clients typically fall into the range of over 60 years old. I don't know if that's going to be the case on this channel,
but it just seems like typically that's where we end up. And so I've got an older crowd, an older age group of men and women, primarily United States is my demographic, who want to start a YouTube channel for whatever reason it may be, and they don't know how to edit and or they don't want to show their face. And as long as I present them with the solution to their problem, odds are they'll continue to buy my product. Eventually, they may sign up and become part of the mastermind and be, a monthly recurring revenue source and continue on from there. But I got to take my own advice and I have to pay attention to, what's being presented to me and take advantage of these opportunities that the market is saying, like, look, this is your path of least resistance. Seize the day. Identify your strengths and weaknesses is one video. The importance of taking your own advice, myself included. Here we are in the flesh, and that was before day one. That was before we got on this kick of consistent video uploads and trackable progress and day by day. And so I'm just being real. I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. And that's it. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Day 6.